You're now listening to the Z-Listers podcast with Brady, Neil, and AJP.
Never
nervous.
Never
You're
nervous.
gonna sit like this the whole time. Your hands folded neatly. All ready to go. Ready? Ready to do it?
I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome to the Z-Listers podcast. My name is AJP. Next to me today, not Brady Neil, thank God. One of my day one homies, best friends forever, Scotty K.
Hello.
So, last week's episode, I apologize for that. It was absolutely disgusting. And me and Brady had a meeting with HR, and we all agreed that it would be best if he was suspended for a week. So Brady's off, but I still wanted to do the podcast. I wanted to have an episode ready because we've been consistent for a very long time. So I called up Scotty K, and I said, hey, do you want to come do a podcast? And here we are doing a podcast.
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Scotty K is a man of many words.
And few.
I'm gonna throw some titles at you.
Okay.
And you tell me if they're an accurate description of you.
Okay.
All right? Pro gamer. Former pro gamer.
Kind of.
You were making gaming videos like before anybody I knew. Like even before like FaZe Clan and shit like that. You were out here.
A little bit. I did it back with Gears, but
Yeah, that was
then
like
I settled down. Now I just play
2008.
Rocket League every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
It still exists, but
Not for Rocket League?
not for Rocket League. I'm not good enough.
Bro, you've seen those competitions, right? Where they're in like arenas and shit?
Yeah.
Dude, that's insane. Rocket League does that, right? Like they have like competitions like that for Rocket League? Like what games do they even play? Rocket.
I don't know if they have tournaments and stuff like that. Like I know with some other games, you would fly out to like I don't know, Vegas or somewhere to like a big
Yeah.
kind of like arena, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Not like
That's-
not like a stadium, but
They do it at like
a
Madison
gaming arena.
but they have it at like Madison Square Garden and shit too. Like they have it at like places like that.
I'm not that familiar with. I don't like watch it, but
Yeah, there's very few games that I watch like that. My grandpa's friend, his son is like a pro gamer, and he's on like a team. It's like the Houston Outlaws. And
Yeah.
they play. It's weird that they have names like they're football teams, but
oh, they get paid though.
Oh, yeah,
if they
yeah,
win,
yeah.
they get paid. I wasn't on a paying team.
yeah. But you were out here though. We actually, like when I tell people that like our stories and stuff, to me it's just kind of like whatever. But then like I'm like people are like, holy shit, what? Like I was telling Brady about the Club Glow.
Yeah,
Like when we did stuff at the chicken place, and that guy was like, "Oh, I'll fucking kill all you people."
he would have. He would have.
And like me and you were 15, and we're like, "Uh-oh, dude." That was even before the stuff we did down the shore, wasn't it? Because that was 2011.
Yeah, Glow was probably one of our first startups of getting
Right?
some there. I think before the Knights.
No, the Knights of Columbus. So okay, wait, we're jumping all over the place. So okay, so former semi-pro gamer, is that accurate?
All right, we'll go with that.
Okay, actor, former actor. These are all former.
Former.
You're retired from everything.
Yeah.
You're a family man now.
I'm a family man.
Okay. Former rapper,
Yes, with two hits.
2 hits. One was a remix, but 2 hits.
2 hits.
Right? Dude, I listened to that song we did. I don't even want to say the name in case people can find it. But dude, that song was actually crazy. Like your verse wasn't bad, but I was saying some shit in that song that I was like, that's really bad. Do you remember?
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know
Okay.
what you're talking about.
Dude, my verse on that song, that was crazy. Okay, let's see what else. So we got rapper, we have gamer, pro gamer, actor,
Former.
DJ,
Former.
club promoter,
Former.
barber.
Former.
We've done a lot of shit, man. And
Many hats.
I appreciate you, man. You're the
Appreciate
man.
you.
I used to do a lot of weird, crazy shit, and I would be like, a lot of times I wouldn't even tell you what we're doing. I'm just like, hey, come on, we're going to do something. And yeah, man, you were definitely like in the group the most innocent one, and I would just be having you do crazy shit.
I was scared sometimes.
Really? What was like a time like what?
Did we go? Are you the one who brought me to the rope swing?
Oh yeah, the rope.
That I was scared.
That's not that crazy though.
It's in the middle of the forest, in the middle of nowhere, behind
it
a
was-
highway.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, there was this. We lived by the woods, right by the highway, And I don't even know how I found the rope swing, but like it wasn't just like, oh, you walk through the woods. You remember you had to go over that little plank?
Yeah,
over
the plank.
that big ditch, and then you had to go like there was that there was the ditch that you had to crawl over on the plank, and then there was that drainage ditch you had to hop over, and the tunnels and shit, and then there was just a rope swing.
Yeah,
and the rope swing was like on the side of a cliff.
Yeah, so if you let go of that rope, you were.
There was a girl we went to school with fell off that rope.
Yeah.
Do you know who?
I don't remember who, but I know she rolled.
She rolled all the way. Do you remember the car at the bottom? She rolled into the car at the bottom. I'll cut it. It was. Dude, she let. I wasn't there, but I guess she just slipped or she fell off. She rolled down the hill into the abandoned car at the end of the hill. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, when I went there, I forgot who I was with, or it might have even been myself. Almost smacked right back into the tree because on your first initial swing back, after you're coming back to the tree, you're coming in hot.
Oh yeah, because it was like on the side of a hill, and that was like a solid rope swing.
It was a solid rope
was
swing.
like that rope was like a fucking ship rope. Like I don't know who made that, but yeah, I forgot about the rope swing. That's funny as hell.
Because I was scared.
That was probably like one of the first things too that we like exploring, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I brought you to a lot of. Do you remember that show that I did in Neptune that I had to lie about my age?
Yes.
There was a show. It was like this hip hop show that like a showcase type of show, and I don't even know who like put it together, but I saw it on Facebook, and it was a 21 and up show.
Yep.
I told him I was 18 and you were 17, and it was just we were. And it was 21 and up, but like everybody there was even older than that.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, here, can you film me? And you're just like in the corner. And do you remember it was supposed to start at like 8 and it didn't start till like 11:30?
Yeah, it got delayed.
Yeah, like the show got delayed and I performed first. And like, you know, we were at that time, what were we, 14?
Yeah, and people are walking up. They're like, "Hey, you want some alcohol?
Yeah.
Like, you want shots? Like, we're waiting. Is there anything I can get you?"
Yeah, that was actually pretty nuts. This actually, this will probably be the first like PG episode of the podcast. Brady is like so disgusting and just talks about everything. That's why he's suspended this week.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep things smooth here.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. We didn't really prep for this. We just said, you know, we'll talk about our old adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw you last weekend and we were kind of talking about our old adventures. But so yeah, we did. So I think, how did it start? Because we started going to Well, first we were having house parties.
Yes.
In that kid's basement. Right?
Yes.
Those parties were insane. Like, do you remember he had that, like, I think it was like the third. So okay, we're jumping all over the place, but I should have made a list so that it would have been more organized.
We'll get through it.
We definitely will. So that I think was like 2010, because I'm trying to think, because me and you grew up together. We went to the same school all the way up to 8th grade. And then I went to a different school and you went to a different school.
Correct.
And then I moved after 9th grade, but you stayed in the same school.
Correct.
Okay. So, because I remember this. So it was 2010, because I was still living close to you. And this kid, let's call him Jarrett. Jarrett, okay? So Jarrett, he was like, yo, I'm having a party at my house and you're going to DJ. And I'm like, I'm not a DJ. And he's like, no, yeah, you got speakers and stuff. And I didn't. Do you remember I had the iHome? Do you remember the first party I DJed with the iHome? So I don't even remember. Like, I don't wonder if people even forgot about these. Back when you had iPods, there were so many like accessories that they made for like phones and iPods and stuff. And it would have like the port on it and you'd plug it in. But I had this big giant one. I can't find a picture of it. Doesn't matter. But that's all I had. And I plugged my laptop into it and I was just blasting the shit. And there was probably like 20, 30 kids there. And then we started making it like a regular thing. And then me and you were DJing.
Yeah, we got our first mixer.
I still have that too. And dude, those parties, like, they just got crazy. And then the one time we do it, we're coming upstairs after the party. And that kid was like laying in the curb, like puking in front of the house. Like, dude, that shit was insane. And yeah, from there, then we started going to teen nights.
Yeah.
Because, like, where we lived, there was a lot of nightclubs. And, like...
It was the thing. It was the thing back then.
Oh, teen nights? Yeah. And, like, nobody does it anymore. Like, I was thinking about this, too, because I want to talk about it with you. I don't even know, like... I haven't seen anybody advertising a teen night, But then I also realized, I'm 27. I probably wouldn't see somebody advertising a teen night.
Yeah.
But at least like you would hear about it. Like everybody knew those parties were happening.
Yeah, I think what happened was it was too much liability for the clubs, and now none of them do it. Like I'm pretty sure the clubs in Seaside now they're struggling. The one we went to all the time is now being knocked down for storage units.
Yeah, and the one across the street from that one has been closed forever.
They knocked that down.
Did they?
Yeah,
it's gone.
It's
the
leveled.
One across the street.
It's leveled.
Holy shit! I haven't been over there in a long time.
Yeah.
What? Since when?
Maybe 6 months ago.
Oh wow.
Leveled it.
Wow, that's crazy. I had no idea. But yeah, it was like a thing. Like every nightclub had like a teen night, and it was always like a weird night, weird day of the week. But I think the first one that we went to, sorry, so unprofessional. But everywhere had teen nights, and I think when me and you started to go, I think like it was like basically every guy that went was like, how many girls can I dance with and make out with, right? But like, and me and you kind of had that idea for like, I don't know, maybe like the first 20 minutes. But then we realized, holy shit, there's literally like 1,000 kids in here and they all paid $20.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait a minute. We're doing the math.
And Red Bull's $5 a can when you get in.
And Red Bull, and remember, it wasn't even Red Bull. It was like whatever their drink was. So we're in there. We're like, oh shit. And then it was February of 2011 where we went to that one teen night and we met Angelina from Jersey Shore. Remember that?
Yeah.
And dude, this makes us sound really old, but we're not that old. Uber didn't exist yet. So do you remember what we used to do?
Taxi.
Dude, we would go with Jarrett, and this was Jarrett's idea.
Yep.
We would walk like 3 blocks away. Basically, everyone would get dropped off at somebody's house. Mostly Jarrett's house. And then we would walk like 2 or 3 blocks away from Jarrett's house, and then we would each call a different cab company. And we would make them race each other. And do you remember, like, we'd be getting in the cab
and
like,
another one's falling up.
Yeah. And then do you remember? I was telling Danielle about this like a couple weeks ago. Do you remember that homeless guy that was always in the one cab?
Yes, I remember. It was one of the companies. He's like, he throws up in there all the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, actually, where you were sitting.
Yeah. And then do you remember we were going home and we called that company, and the homeless guy was in the back seat.
Yes.
And I remember it was like 3 or 4 of us, and you went in first and you opened the door and you saw him in there, and then you turned around. You're like, hell no. So I sat next to him. And do you remember we drove him and dropped him off like in the woods? Do you remember that?
I don't.
So there was like, it was like south of the club. We went over that bridge. We were down in that area, right? And we pulled up to this road. It was like a dead end. And let's just say the homeless guy's name was John, right? We pulled up, it's dead end, and then woods. And the cab driver's like, all right, John, have a good night. And the guy just got out and walked into the woods. And me and you, we were all looking at each other like, what the hell? But that taking the cabs was crazy. So he got us doing the parties. And then me and you started DJing his parties.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we were going to teen nights.
Correct.
Then once we realized, like, holy shit, there's a lot of money to be made here, we booked a Knights of Columbus hall in our town, and we threw a teen night. And like, since you went to a different school than me, and then I got this other DJ J. Rome, shout out to him. He lived like another town away. So like all of us got together and we were like bringing everybody together. Yep. And I remember tickets were $10 and the hall was $300 to rent. We sold 30 tickets. So we're like, perfect. We broke even. But Jerome blew a speaker. Remember that?
Yep.
And then we broke a table, or the people at our party broke a table. So we got charged $50 for the goddamn table. So we ended up losing $50. And then remember they were like, oh, you could keep the table.
Yeah, it's a learning experience though.
Yeah. And also we're at that point 15, like insane. And also too, like what did we expect to happen? I mean, like it wasn't like even a nightclub. I don't even think they were selling drinks. They just had like water and shit.
Yeah, it wasn't anything crazy.
Not that they sold alcohol, but you know what I mean? They didn't have Red Bull and shit like that.
Yeah.
But then fast forward, and I don't think that summer we did anything. Right?
I don't think we did anything. I think we might have had that one booking where I thought we were in Maryland.
So that was 2012.
Oh, okay.
So 2011, we do that party. It was in March. It was March 26th or 25th. I'll never forget that because that was like our first thing, right? And then it was like September, and I'm in school, and Jerome texts me a video, and he was like, yo, I think I found a new spot for parties. And it was Club Glow. So I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. And That was September. We did the first one. Remember?
Yep.
And we had to go because at this point I didn't have any equipment. We had that little mixer and stuff, but
We had the mixer, I think 2 lights,
and that was it.
and that was. And we bought a backdrop. We invested back into the company, and
What was our backdrop?
It was just a glow backdrop.
Oh, that was the banner outside, right?
Yes.
And we still didn't have speakers then. We had like the DJ gear, but no speakers.
Yeah, correct.
So we borrowed them from my uncle. Remember?
Yeah, many times.
we would
Many
go-
times.
We would go borrow my uncle's speakers, and we set up in this chicken place. And the first one we did was actually like pretty good. We did 4 there. Do you remember? We did the hot
Jungle. We did a jungle party.
That was the first one. The jungle party was the first
jungle
one.
party.
Then we did a Halloween one. That one nobody showed up to.
Yep. We did a Christmas one too.
That one.
And you were supposed to dress up as Santa, I think, and you did not deliver because you lost the costume, I believe.
So you're getting ahead of yourself. You're getting ahead of yourself there. So we did the first one was a jungle theme, and that one did pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how much that place cost to rent. It might have been like $300 or $400.
It wasn't much.
Yeah, and so that one was okay. Then we did the Halloween one on Halloween, and nobody showed up. Remember? We were like packing up and like leaving, and like a car pulled up to like.
Yeah, he's like, "Is this Club Glow?" We're like, "No, we don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah. We're like, no, I have no idea. And like we loaded up and left. That was a dud, and it happens. Like you can't, it's whatever. So then we did that one that was like a paint party, like a neon paint party.
Yes.
That was in November, and that one was like really good. You remember that? That was like, then we did the Christmas one, but the Christmas one was different because in between the first one that we did and the Christmas one, it's like throughout 2011, we worked as promoters for a company.
Yeah.
Right? So this company saw that we were doing parties and they were like, hey, can we get in on that? So we're like, yeah, sure. So we didn't promote because we thought they would have their other promoters promoting. Yep. And they didn't because they thought we were promoting. Right? So it was basically like poor communication. And that's where that crazy guy comes in who funded the Christmas party. And again, it's like $300-$400. That's a lot of money if you lose $300.
Yeah.
But this guy, dude, like it was funny me telling Brady about it, but you can like attest to this shit. Bro, like first of all, we didn't drive then. We're still 15.
Correct.
And like when you said when we started this, you were like, yeah, a lot of times I was scared. That was like one of the times like I was like, holy shit. I was like, I have no idea what's going to happen right now. So I've explained it on the other podcast, but this chicken restaurant, this chicken place, it was built on a hill. So if you went in the front door, you were upstairs, and I don't even know what was it before the chicken place. Do you know? Like it had to be like it had to
taco place maybe,
but it had to be at one point like a legit restaurant because if you remember,
it was
like because it had the upstairs and downstairs. So when it was a real restaurant, the upstairs would have been like the main place, and then downstairs was like the dining room or like a banquet room or whatever. And but the chicken place didn't use the basement.
No,
it was just a big open room, and then it had a hallway with like storage and where the boxes were.
The boxes,
and then the bathrooms. So that's how Jerome found it. I don't even know how he found it, but he was like, yo, this is perfect. But then what you had to do is you'd pull into the parking lot and you would be in the back of the place and then the door would be there. And that was downstairs into the open room.
It had its own separate entrance.
Yeah. And do you remember we had that guy, that one of Jerome's friends, security? We'd pay him like $50 to just stand outside.
Yeah.
And like, and thinking back on it, we were 15. That guy was probably like 24. But like, didn't he seem like such like an adult?
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah, he was cool as hell. And he would be like, he would ask us, because we used him at the Knights of Columbus. He was security outside. And he would just be like, how much is, because he would also collect the admission.
Yes.
And then let people in. And then we switched it up to where like you would pay when you came inside.
Mm-hmm.
But he would just be like, how much is the party tonight? He would take the money, pat people down, let them in. And it was just him. It was like, and it was just crazy. So we would use that downstairs. And like I said, we did 4. 2 of them were good. But yeah, dude, we set up at the Christmas one. It was like middle of December. And we didn't promote. They didn't promote. And also it's like, it's weird too because we've done some other stuff where like no one's shown up. Remember that? And it's like
the nights across the from the cemetery.
Yeah,
by the bank.
Yeah. See that was going to be like a New Year's Eve party, but then Sandy happened in 2012, And then we turned it into like a charity thing for the town but like it also snowed that night.
Yeah.
And it was also December 30th or 30. It wasn't 31st. It might have been like 29th or the 30th. But like, you can't control that.
Yeah.
And then we've had the opposite of that where too many people have been there.
Yeah, surprise.
And then like the party gets shut down because there's too many people. But basically, so we're jumping all over still. It's just so much fun. So that happens December 2011, right? And that kind of like ruined our relationship with Club Glow. Because that guy, like, he was attached to us because we brought him in.
Yeah, and then he just ruined our relationship with the owner that we had.
It was the manager and the owner.
Yeah.
Remember? And the manager was actually being pretty cool about it. But remember they were in the doorway of the kitchen and the guy screamed, like the manager.
Yeah, where the customers are. Customers are eating. This guy just walks through the door and starts cursing at the manager.
He was like, he's like, that was my kid's fucking Christmas money. I'll burn this fucking place down. And me and you were like,
we're downstairs too, right? We could hear him.
We're like, we got to pack up. We got to pack up. I call my grandma. I'm like, just drive as fast as you can. Get here, pick us up. Do not ask questions. I said in the last podcast, like, usually we'll pack up the car so it's like nice and neat. We threw shit in there. Yeah. We're just like, we got to get out of here. And I think we brought everything outside.
Yeah, right? We waited outside.
Usually, like, we'll wait till the car gets there. The car will back up to the door, and then we'll carry stuff out. We brought everything outside. We're like, I'm not fucking dealing with this guy. And, yeah, that was like I'm thinking about it, too, because, like, you have a younger sibling, right?
Yeah.
And how old is she now?
23.
Okay. So, do you not want me to put that in there? Or you don't
care?
No,
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I was just thinking.
Oh, okay.
Because she was born in 2000, so...
easy math. Right?
Yeah, easy math.
But at one point... she was 15. Can you imagine her at 15 doing this? Like, I have younger cousins and shit.
I wouldn't believe it.
Right?
Like, I wouldn't believe it.
Like one of my cousins, he's 19. But, like, I thought a lot about this when he was, like, 15, 16, 17. Yeah. Like, I'm just, like, I cannot imagine him doing this. And also, too, like, the adults, I think it's more on the adults that let us do this stuff and not, like, our parents. I'm talking about the adults we worked with. Like,
yeah, because they never asked, how old are you? Or like they would give us a contract, be like, all right, sign here, and we're like, this contract isn't legally binding, isn't it?
Yeah, because we're minors. And then how many things did we do where there's no contract?
Yeah,
like people would just be like, all right, here you go, and we're just like, okay.
Yeah, they'd be like, yeah, no contract. They'll say we'll split the door, and we get the beverage bar. Oh right? Yeah, whatever that is. They would take 100% of that and split the door.
Yeah. So a lot of times, I don't know how it really works now because I haven't done that stuff in a long time. But the last one I did, it was 2013 or 14. But I was doing these parties and it was 18 and up. And the deal I had was 50% of the door and 10% of the bar when it hit 3,000.
Oh, okay.
But at a teen night, they're not selling alcohol, so they keep all of the bar.
Yeah.
Because they're only selling water, soda, and like energy drinks. Anyway, our relationship gets ruined with the chicken place guy.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if you knew this. People rented that out after us and called it Club Glow.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So there were other people that threw parties. And you know what else made me feel good? They didn't have the banner.
Nope.
Like, so they could call it Club Glow, but they had no signs. And I don't think they made signs either. But there was one promoter that threw a party there, and it was packed. And for a long time, I was like, fuck that guy, because, like, that was our spot.
Yeah.
But that's actually happened a lot, too, with, like, places I've done shows, because it comes from us doing parties. We were always looking for, like, crazy and weird spots to do it, right?
When an opportunity presented itself, we would go at it.
So the same thing, like when I book shows, like there was it doesn't exist anymore, but there was like a recording studio in Connecticut that had this space, right? Mm-hmm. And it had like a performance room, kind of like here, but like the stage was taller and the room was bigger, but same vibe, right? And I did a show there, and then after that, like 2 or 3 artists from New Jersey did shows there, and I'm like, they didn't like say like, oh, I found it through you, but there's no way that they just found the place, because I was promoting it like crazy. And the same thing that happened with Glow and shit. It's like, so that happens. Then a month later, we're looking for places to do it now because our operation got destroyed. Right. We can't go back to the Knights of Columbus because that place was just not. That place was weird.
Yeah, and a lot of people started doing what we were doing.
Yes.
So, but they were ruining the place. Like, they weren't cleaning up after themselves. Yeah. Like, they would break stuff.
That's another big thing. Like, people doing parties exactly like what you're saying.
But not like us.
Yeah. And then places were like, no, we don't want teen nights. We don't want to do that. And it's like, come on. Like, So then I was emailing like a bunch of places, and it lined up perfect because you can't email a nightclub and be like, hey, I want to have a teen night on Friday because they're open. You know what I mean? So I found this nightclub down the shore, and I wanted to do, it was going to be like a birthday party for me, but also like open to the public, like a teen night.
Yeah.
And it was going to be on January 15th, MLK Day, no school the next day. Basically, every school was closed, right? We emailed back and forth, right? Then my grandma took us to go look at the place.
Yeah.
So me and you went down. We met with the manager of the club, and she was showing us around. She was like, "Oh, this club just got a new $1 million sound system." Do you remember she turned the like speakers up?
The lighting,
like,
the lighting was fantastic.
The lighting on the stage, like the dance floor, everything was new. The lights in the ceiling. She took us in the back and showed us the DJ booth and everything. And this club was like incredible, and I'm talking to her and stuff. And one of the funniest things like I still think about is that like a lot of times I would have to bullshit with these people because like it's just what you had to do, right? And there would be times we would get back in the car and you'd be like, I don't know how you did that. And I'm just like, dude, I don't know, but you would like follow my lead and shit. But this nightclub down the shore is a gay nightclub, right? So she was like, oh, and look, we have like all these screens. she was like, oh, look, we have all these screens too and all these TVs. She's like, oh, I could like turn them on. And we're like, oh, okay. They had like this area, this VIP area where like you went up a couple steps and it was like this long bench with like all these tables and like
TVs in them.
TVs like in the wall and in the table and then in the wall in front of the VIP, like all over. And then they had TVs on the wall up by the dance floor. And then in front of the stage, they had 2 big TVs. She's like, oh, wait, I could turn them on. And we're like, okay, we're standing there. She flips on the TVs, and it's just a guy. It's a video of a guy totally naked. His hands are like back here, and he's just thrusting. And you just see everything. And me and you look at each other like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on?
She's like, yeah, don't worry. We can turn this off when you have your party.
Yeah. She's like, you could put anything else on here, but this is like what they look like. And I'm like, that is insane.
Yeah.
So then we go outside, and she's showing us like the parking and all that stuff. And one thing that like clubs like to do, and I think concerts still do this, they like to hold the line outside and like take a picture so that it looks like, oh shit, like look at the line, like get down here now, they could promote it and stuff. But the specific town that we did it in, they wouldn't let you hold the line.
No.
So like the doors, when they were open, they were open. So like if you drove by, it looked like nothing was happening. But like our other parties, we would also hold the line. And like clubs we went to, they would hold the line.
Yeah.
So if you looked at it, it'd be like, holy shit, this is like, something's really happening, you know? But, so we're talking to the lady, we're setting up, we picked a date, and she's like, oh yeah, like telling her what we want to do. And I knew another promoter, and I was like, look, I'm going to bring you in on this. This guy, basically how it worked then, all these companies would have like their DJ, right? So you were our DJ, Aeron Entertainment.
I was.
Right? So whenever we booked a place, you would DJ, I would DJ too. And there was this other kid, we're not going to say anything crazy about him, we can call him Chris.
Okay.
He had a club, and he had a DJ. By that time, I think his DJ was going by JG. But,
JG, yeah, I think so.
But now, I actually still talk to him. Shout out to Jake Royale. He changed his name. But we're outside talking to the lady, and she's like, oh, yeah, that's great. And then she's like, you're Scotty K? And then she's like, oh, you just look. What did she say? She was like, something like about
you look younger than what you look like on YouTube or something like that.
And I don't know, like, I don't think we really even talked about that in the moment, but like, who did she think you were?
I Googled him later. It's literally the same name I used, except his K had a period at the end.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same exact name.
Oh, wow.
Except he looked like he was 27, and I was 15.
15. And so then she's like, and you have security and everything, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, totally. So but now I'm like, I can't use, because this is a nightclub now. You can't just have one guy outside. So I was like, shit, we gotta do something.
We need a real team.
We need a real team. We asked Matt's older brother, right? And at that point, he might have been like 18 or 19. If he was 19, that's a lot. That's old. I don't think he was even 19. And I was like, Pete, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to get like 5 or 6 friends. I'll give you each $50 and you got to be my security. Because the way that this club was set up, without giving too much away, because if I describe it too much, you'll be able to know the club. Yeah. Probably people can already find it. But it had a lot of entrances, right? And like only one was the main entrance and was open, but there was like another bar next to it, and you needed to have like a bunch of
yeah, because you could sneak in through the other side, and the doors were unlocked. There were like 3 doors, because that was also where the bathrooms were.
The bathrooms were down the hallway, and then there was like another business back here. There was a bar.
Yeah.
So there was like, you needed people at like all these different posts. So I think I went on Amazon and I got like security shirts.
Yep.
And it was like, I had like my little security team. And I think I even needed bartenders for that too.
Yeah, we needed bartenders. Right. I think we bought walkie-talkies from Walmart.
Didn't we? Yeah, right? Because we gave them to Pete,
yeah.
right? And we had somebody work in the front door. We set everything up, and we threw the party. And that one was like the first one. It was a new club. We couldn't hold the line. Also, it was a new area for us too. We never threw parties down there.
Yeah.
So whatever. But it was decent. For a middle of January Sunday night.
Yeah, we did all right. All right enough to do it again,
Yeah. And that was another thing too. A lot of places liked us because even if there wasn't a big crowd, they would be like, and we wanted to do it again, they'd be like, sure, because like you said, like we weren't trashing the place.
Yeah.
Back to Club Glow for a second. Do you remember when we finished the first party, all the black spots on the wall?
Yes, I was going to bring it up to you. The grinding spots.
Yeah.
People grinded so hard, they would turn the walls black.
So after, we're going back here, but at Club Glow, the first one we did, the owner came down to check on everything, and everything was fine, but all along the wall were these black spots. They were like this big, right? Like, the size of, however, lean your back against the wall. That's how big the spots were on the wall.
Yeah.
And basically it was just where guys were standing and girls were grinding on them, and they were rubbing on the wall so much. There were all these black spots. He didn't seem too mad about it because they wiped off.
Yeah.
But that was funny as hell. But the first one we did, it was fine, and I can't remember though. There was a problem with the security though, right?
Which
our security
at Glow, or
no,
at
down the shore.
Down the shore.
Yeah.
There was.
Right?
There was.
Because after that, she was like, yeah, you can't use.
Yeah, because they used their security too. So even though we hired our own security, she also wanted 2 of her guys working that night as well.
But I don't think the first one.
Not the first one.
Yes. I can't remember what they did, but I think she kind of caught on.
I think we gave her a walkie-talkie too. And,
did we?
And Pete.
That's right.
Pete was messing around on there.
That's right. She had a walkie-talkie too, so she could talk. Dude, I've totally forgot about that.
I think so that she could tell them like, "Hey, this guy needs to get out of here," or something like that. And they were just messing around on there.
They were 19, 18. It's not like, I'm not mad at them about it, but they were just fucking around, Yes, and she heard them fucking around on the walkie-talkies. And then, dude, I totally forgot about that. Yes, and then she was like, "Oh, yeah, you're not using your security anymore." But it was fine. She was happy. But the only thing with that club was we had to wait for like random school dates, right? Because it was a
regular club during the weekend.
Yeah, it's like a regular nightclub. So we couldn't just be like, hey, Friday, Saturday, we need a date. So, but she actually told me, I don't know if you know this, she told me like the next day or like the week after that other companies were calling her. Did you know that?
No.
To do stuff. Like remember the big company?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They called her to do something there. And she was like, no, I already work with somebody. So I was like, that's great, because like,
we were really nice to her. We had a good relationship.
Until the last
party.
But that's not our fault. Something else funny about that, there were two DJs that were begging me to DJ. And I was like, just be promoters. Just please be promoters. And they were like, no, like I'm telling you, if you let us DJ, we'll get a lot more people.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I have my guys here, you know what I mean? I was like, just promote. If you bring enough people, I'll let you DJ the next one. So then fast forward to, I'm skipping all over. So we booked that party. And it happened, and it was fine. But somewhere between when we booked it and when it happened, I got an email to DJ at this indoor water park. I think it was the weekend before our party down the shore.
I think so.
So they called me up, or they emailed me, and I don't even know how this place found me, because it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I could say the name of it, because I think it doesn't exist anymore. But the name of the club was H2O Beach Club.
Yeah.
Right? But in Baltimore, and it was in New Jersey. In Baltimore, right? Or Ocean City?
It was Maryland. I think it was somewhere in Maryland.
Might have been Ocean City. But
maybe Ocean City.
There's a really, and I think it's still open. There's a really popular nightclub called H2O. Not Beach Club, just H2O. So I get the email that they want to book me. And it's like this indoor water park, but at night, they had these like giant speakers that they like rolled in.
Yeah.
And then like in this indoor water park where they would have like tables and chairs set up, they moved all that. they kept like this hot tub open. You remember the hot tub?
Yeah, they kept that. It was like a VIP hot tub. I think.
Yeah. And they rolled in a DJ booth, and then they plugged it into the speakers that they had. And dude, those speakers were like,
it bumped in there.
Those speakers were not meant to be portable. They put them on like some shit. And we're DJing, and you thought you thought we were at the one in Maryland.
I did.
You were telling people, "Oh yeah, we're DJing in Maryland." It was like an hour and a half from our house. But shout out to my grandparents because they took us there. And we
every
gig, but that one in particular because we got a hotel because I think it ended at like midnight.
Yeah, we stayed.
So we actually lost money on that because we got a hotel. But didn't that feel like so cool?
It was such a great trip.
And that was like the first time I got booked, like by somebody I didn't know. They reached out to me. I remember being in school, being in class, and like checking my email because I was going back and forth with the lady down the shore.
Yeah.
And then I saw this email, and I'm like, holy shit, like. How did you find me? I didn't even think to ask.
Yeah.
But so I was like, yeah, let's go. So me and you DJ'd. And bro, this was at the time, I know you know this, but this was at the time when Big Sean was just getting like popping. And Finally Famous came out. And his like, it might have been his first like big single, but Ass. But bro, that song came out and we didn't have it.
No.
But like, there had to be at least 35 requests.
At least.
Can you play Ass? Can you play Dance by Big Sean? And I'm just like, I'll get to it. And I didn't have it. So like, that was funny as hell. And now I'm thinking about it. Do you remember when we used to DJ like, we'll get into this too, but like the private stuff we used to do, like the Sweet 16s and stuff?
Yeah.
Do you remember how hard it was to play a song we didn't have? Like,
we would hold our phones on YouTube and we would take it out of the mixer really quick, plug it in the phone, like.
But you had to listen first to make sure it wasn't like anything crazy.
Yeah. Because
like on YouTube, you could look for a song and it could be somebody else's song. It could be like cursing,
or just
in
a bad version.
And now, dude, I'm thinking about it, like Spotify makes that shit so easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll find it. Click, plug it right in. But yeah, dude, a song would fade out, and then one of us would be like holding the phone, the other one would like pull the cable out of the laptop, shove it into the phone, and then play it. But then we'd have to have another song ready. So when that ended, we would pull it out of the phone, plug it back into the laptop. That shit was crazy. But we couldn't do that at this place. I don't think we had Wi-Fi.
No, we didn't.
But
so it was hard.
And there, so whatever we had is what we had to play. But having two gigs like that, like one weekend and then the next weekend, it just was like one of the coolest moments ever. Because it was like, we're like actually working DJs, like, we're making shit happen. Yeah. And so yeah, then we do that. And that party was like, and another thing about that party, they already had a crowd. Like we didn't have to promote it.
Correct.
Like, so they had like a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, didn't they have foam and stuff too?
I think they did. Foam was a big thing back then. Foam was huge.
It was like foam, neon, and then you'd have like the random ones they threw in there.
Yeah.
Right? So we do ours, and then, like I said, we have to wait for another holiday.
Yeah.
So we did a spring break one. So me and you like went through like every school in the county that the club was in.
Yep.
And we like lined up their spring breaks, picked a day, and it was a Wednesday. You remember that? The second one that we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was, so you DJ'd that. You DJ'd, I think I performed, and then Jake DJ'd again, right? And that one was like, all right. I think it was, I don't think we had as many as the first one, but back to those two people that were like, yo, let me DJ. So, and again, I was like, not this one, whatever. But then we do a third one. Also, I want to say what else this place had, but if I say what else they had, outside,
it gives away the place.
It gives out what it is.
It gives away the place.
So, and that, maybe even me saying that gives it away.
I think your first line, everybody knows what club it is.
Probably. It doesn't matter. And I have nothing against this place. This place was great.
No, it was great.
It
was great inside. The people were great. The people
and
all around were great.
Do you remember what we used to have to do with the Facebook invites? Do you remember the code like that we would do to invite all? Remember we'd like run that shit? Like we'd get into people's Facebooks and do like the invite all code. We would like get into the shit. Hang on, I'm gonna pull it up because it's.
I know you were better at that using Facebook than I was for inviting
no, because
people.
Where the hell's my mouse? What we used to do is, so we would hire promoters, right? We'd hit them up and we'd be like, how it worked is you would use a name, or like some people would do it in like a group, and we would give them flyers and we'd have them write their name on the flyer.
Right.
And then we would say, basically, for anybody that turns this flyer in with your name on it or says your name at the door, you'll get anywhere from like $2 to $5. It depended on the party. If the tickets were like $10, we can't give them 5 because then we're not making anything. But like when the tickets were like 20, we'd be like, yeah, you'll get like $4 or $5. So we had all these promoters and stuff. But then Facebook events were like a big deal. So what we would do is if somebody didn't want to be a promoter, we would pay them to use their Facebook. You remember that?
Yes, I do remember that now.
So we would pay them. We'd be like, hey, let me log into your Facebook. I'll send you like $20, $30. I want to invite all your friends to this party. And then some people would be like, they'd be like, fine. And they would give us names. They'd be like, can you uncheck this, this, and this? Because it would be like their parents and shit. So for our second party, we had like, do you remember how many we had invited? It was like 30,000 people.
A lot.
Because we would just, like, we were going crazy with it. But what you used to have to do was you would open up Google Chrome, if you're watching, and we would like go into something on this shit here. I don't even know what I'm looking at now. But you'd go into all these like code and stuff, and you would paste this code that would invite everybody's friends on their friends list to the event.
Yeah.
Right? And we, like I said, we had like 30,000 invites, and then you would have like 1,000 maybes, and then you'd have like 500 coming, and then you would know that like anywhere between like 20 and 40% would actually be there.
Yeah.
So
we would promote hard locally too.
Oh, yeah, go to the malls.
Yeah, stuff like that. Remember, we used to drop cards everywhere.
Oh,
in plants,
We'd
stores.
We'd go to the mall. And then remember, if we saw somebody else's flyers, we would take them and throw them out and leave our flyers. Yeah, we were like, we would go to the malls and stuff. And that was like a time where like the flyers still kind of worked. Because like social media was like, it was around. But at this time, like, actually, no. Instagram, when we were 2012, when we were doing this, Instagram was like a year old. So like it wasn't really like a promotion tool
People were
yet.
using MySpace still. I think.
No,
I think MySpace dead.
No, I think MySpace was dead by then. I don't know. What year
I don't know. But all I know is, when we used to go walk around the mall. It's like what the kids do now. You still go to the mall. You see kids walking around and.
Yeah, but it was nothing like it when we went.
Yeah, I know.
We would go we'd go on a Saturday at like 4:00 and be there till 9:00, just handing out flyers, leaving flyers places. Some days we'd hit up 2 malls in one day, and then we'd go back in to see sometimes we would go the next day to see if our flyers got thrown out.
Remember, you got tweeted once.
Somebody found the flyer and they tweeted about the and I don't know if they used it or they came to it or not, but
you remember what event that was, right?
That was the one.
The mansion.
Yeah, the mansion. But yeah, I don't think Facebook was like the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so back to those 2 people. I know I've said that again, but I'm making a really great point.
We're building up.
We're building up because it really is. It drives me nuts to this day. Now, we do this second party, and it was great. Mild success. Great for us.
Great for us for being at a professional building.
And this is our first real nightclub that we're at. Like, not
like some banquet hall out under a restaurant.
Yeah.
This is legit.
What this club had outside would have made us like the most popular promoters in the state, right?
Right.
At the time, there was like one big company that was like really doing it. Then there was another company that was like just as big, and that's the one we worked for. And then it was a bunch of everybody else, a bunch of like little small people. I truly believe, even though the big company, they had like years and years on us. They had like they were doing shit probably in 2008. We're talking about 2012. And they do big stuff everywhere. North Jersey, South Jersey, everywhere. Big stuff, giant parties. They're getting like 1,000 kids a party. But what this club had, if we were able to do with it, like we would have jumped to the top immediately because of what it was. So our third party, 2 of those people that were like, let me DJ. We let one of them DJ. Remember?
Yep.
The kid had like 200 people on his list. And I'm like, I felt so stupid for not letting him DJ, right? And the other kid who I didn't let DJ, I was like, oh, I'll just promote.
Yeah.
He's like a huge Jersey club producer now. Like hundreds of
Really?
Yeah, DJ Small 732. That's what he went by. That was his name. But he was like, yo, let me he was the one that used to dance. Remember that? We have like videos of like people on stage dancing and stuff.
Okay.
When we would play like club music, he would always have like the circle going, and he was like a dancer then. I don't know if how big he was into DJing. He was a DJ. But
okay.
And me and him actually made a Christmas Jersey club song like around the same time, because we're like, yo, like we gotta like work together. Now he's verified on everything. Like he's huge, right? Do you know that song by Coi Leray? I don't know the name of it, but what the hell? Do you know that song? It's like because girls.
I'm not good with names.
Girls
because Girls is plays too.
So the Jersey Club, the official Jersey Club remix of that song is by him.
Oh.
Him and Coi Leray like linked up.
Really?
And I'm like, I kick myself for that because I'm like, fuck, like if I let him DJ, and he was from the area, I was just like, when you're doing stuff, and especially like when we were doing stuff then, like, we had egos and not like anything crazy, but it's like, this is ours, and it's like, I don't know, I should have been, hindsight.
Everybody wanted to DJ for us too.
That's another thing.
Because not a lot of the other places, we paid our DJs.
Oh,
that was a problem back then. DJs were not getting paid.
They were either just getting paid by the guest list, and then if you did a party for like the big company and you didn't have anybody in your guest list, you were never going to DJ again. Mm-hmm. But we just like flat out paid the DJs. And that was, shout out to Chris, because that was like he kind of brought that up too. Yeah. Because if you pay the DJ and have promoters promote, it just makes everybody happy because the DJ can do their thing. They don't got to worry about anything, and they're going to do a better job. But so the third party, we let the one guy DJ, and I can't remember his name. It'll come to me like in the middle of the night. But and shout out to DJ Small 732. Like I love seeing him do like all this stuff. But I'm like, damn it, if I let you DJ, like, who knows what could have happened. Anyway, but yeah, that other DJ, he had like so many people on his list, and we're like, holy shit. And then like, I don't know, there had to be 400 kids in there.
Oh,
at least, so many. Right? And I guess just because our promoters, like, I think because he was DJing, it was easier for our promoters too, because they were all local to like the same town.
Yeah.
So they were able to be like, yo, like he's DJing, this guy, and come, whatever. And I remember I was on stage, I had the microphone, and I was about to I was talking to the crowd and shit. And all I remember is looking out into the crowd and them just like parting. And there's one security guard coming up, right? It was a woman. She was the head of security. Yeah. She like managed the team. Yeah. And it wasn't the manager of the club like we were talking about. It was a different lady. But she grabbed the microphone from me. She was like, "Party's over." The lights came on, like the main lights, not the, and she had like to kick everybody out. The party maybe happened for like hour and a half, 2 hours.
Hour and a half, somewhere around there.
And it turns out that there, like we said, there was a bunch of entrances to this, and this group of kids came to the front door, and I guess they heard the price and they didn't want to pay.
Yeah, they were like, I think 15 minutes late to our promotional timeline that we gave a discount off the door. Yeah. It was like $5 off if you get there before 9 or something like that.
Yeah, we probably did something like that. And so what they did was they went around, and like we were saying before, there's like other businesses, mm-hmm. and they there was only one security guard at that door, and it was like probably 5 or 6 kids, and they all like rushed through. But now this lady made it seem like the kids like beat the shit out of the security guard.
Yeah,
it was just there was more than, it was like the guy was
a small altercation. That's what it was.
But it wasn't even an altercation. Like the guy was just outnumbered.
Yeah,
like how you can't stop 6. Let's say it was 4 kids. You're not going to stop all of them. So they ran through, and then I guess it was like a big deal. But me and you and everybody like that was working with us was inside, so we didn't see it.
Yeah.
But and I'm sure that this security lady and them probably have another side of the story about what happened.
Probably.
But, they probably say, "Oh no, it was crazy. They were stomping on his head and shit." But they beat the shit out of him. Who knows? But we never were allowed back there, and
I missed that place.
That was a really nice place. And I'm actually like tempted to go there just on one of their nights just to see it, just to be there and see it, like
reminisce, because
it's a really nice club. And then we just started doing other stuff, and I don't think after that we ever got back into like an actual nightclub, did we?
No, we didn't really get back into it because a lot of places were slowing down. I think we tried to get the place that's turning into storage units now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we tried to get back in there, but they were going under some legal issues.
Yeah, that's right, because then they just became like an event space.
Yeah, like if you have a Sweet 16, you would just do that. Yeah. They just did that strictly.
And then I think me and you, we kind of we stopped doing, after that it was kind of like, I don't want to say scary, but it was like, wow, like this is something that could happen. That was like our first thing at a party where it was like, wow, this could be like, but like, again, I don't know how bad it was. To us, it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But like bad stuff could happen at the party, and then you're responsible. And we knew that, like, we're young, like that nothing can really happen to us.
Yeah.
They're the ones signing the contracts with kids. But at that same time, we started DJing like private events.
Correct.
We had a sound system then.
Yeah,
right?
We saved up all the money that we made from those parties.
Yep.
Bought our own system. Didn't have to use your uncle's anymore.
And actually, we had a really small one, and my uncle got us one. Remember that?
Yeah. I remember now.
He got us one, and we started doing like Sweet 16s.
We did my junior prom too. Remember?
Yes. And did we do a birthday party for one of your teachers?
Yes, we did.
So we just started like getting booked for like the private stuff, and that was actually better because you made more money. And you didn't have to worry about anything. Like
it was
you're just
setting up and breaking down is the only downside, but it's chill.
Like you're the hired entertainment. Like if some crazy shit happens at the party, it's not your problem.
Yeah.
But it also helped too because at that time, like we turned 16 and all of our friends turned 16. We used to undercut people like crazy. Girls would be like, "Oh yeah, this company charged us like or wanted to charge us like $2-3 grand." Me and you would be like $200. Like we didn't give a shit. Who cares?
We have a free weekend. Somebody would be like, "Oh, how much to DJ for like 3-4 hours?" It'd be like, I don't know, $350. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." We're like, "Oh shit, we should have charged like $5."
Yeah. How many times did we do that? Like I think like the first Sweet 16, we were like probably like $200, and then we were like, "Oh no," and then So your junior prom, right?
Yeah,
that was 2013. Right?
Right.
Because I remember Harlem Shake was popular then. And right before the beat dropped, the power went out.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. And you know what also is crazy too? Your date for your junior prom is your wife now.
Yes, it is.
That's so crazy because I remember, because it wasn't far from my house. I don't think we were driving yet, were we?
Yo, we were driving.
Were we?
Yeah, I think you had a permit.
Okay, that does make sense.
Because you got your license before me.
Yes, that does make sense. So we drove the equipment back home and you helped me unload.
Yep.
And she was just your date at the time, but I remember her holding the door open, like in her prom dress still, with the flower on her wrist, just holding the door as we like putting stuff back in the house.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy to think that's your wife now. Like, I don't know. That's just crazy to me. But then we kept doing that stuff, and we would do, we just did a lot of random shit.
Yeah.
Like we would get booked for like I said, like your teacher's birthday party, your prom, then a lot of Sweet 16s, and then like, basically anybody that was having shit, they knew we were just like cheap, and I think we did pretty good. I mean,
we did like backyard parties and stuff. Didn't we do like one or two for one of your friends?
Yeah, we did
backyard parties. A Sweet 16,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, every candle she read, I think it was like an hour-long speech for candles.
Yeah. And what we used to do is that song 16 Candles, that really old song, we would loop that as like a background as they like read their thing, because like I don't know if girls still do that at Sweet 16s, but like they would like write a speech or whatever, but this girl had a person for every candle, and like it was the easiest gig because like you said, it was like an hour and we're just like looping that, and she's reading to like everybody. They come up and light the candle. And in the backyard, remember she had a pool too, remember? That was that was cool.
I'll never forget that because of how long it took.
Oh yeah, dude, that was
forever.
Because she was over here, right? Like we were set up, and she was over here doing it. We're just like chilling.
Oh, and just popped in my head, but all the adults at that party loved Pitbull.
Oh yeah,
we had a ton of Pitbull requests.
At that time it was basically all Pitbull. Like every 3 months, Pitbull had a song, and then the remixes to the songs. It's like Lady Gaga and Pitbull. That was like all we would really have to play. You know what else is funny too? Like. Eating at the DJ booth, like getting food first and everything. And that was always like a thing we made like a point, like people would be like, "Oh, like what do you need and everything to set up?" And
just need food.
Yeah. No, we just want to be the first ones in line to eat. And we always got it. So that was fun. And that's everything we just talked about, because I think, how long are we in now? We'll have to cut a little bit and stuff too, but we're
probably about an hour.
An hour and 5 minutes in. And we didn't even touch on like
the side stuff we did.
All the side stuff we did, the like the videos, our old YouTube channel, our skits that we used to do.
Yeah, we had our own jackass basically.
We were doing like stunts, we were writing skits, making music and stuff like that. I was like, "Yo, I need a verse. Like, you want to do a song with me?" And you're like, "What?" And I was like, "No, it'll be good." And I think you recorded it here, didn't you?
I did.
Right? Just so much shit. And yeah, you know what we'll do? We'll the next time Brady gets suspended, we'll do a part 2, and we'll talk about all the other stuff we did. And we don't have to wrap up now, but we can keep going if you want to go. But
I don't want to keep people here too long.
That's okay.
We could keep it suspended for
that's
for part 2.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That was really just like the party shit, and the party shit was like the crazy stuff.
Oh, it was crazy. Like, it started off mild, but then it got crazy.
It did,
because it became more real, and we were making real money.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
It was crazy.
That is true. And it was crazy when we would be like splitting stuff, and then we'd have like, when the parties got bigger.
You got paid the bartenders, you got paid security, you got paid the door guy. We had a real
And then also
business.
too, we once, like, because we mixed in the private stuff and the public events like the teen nights and stuff. But then like when we got to be like 17, 18, the teen nights were kind of dying.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the clubs were closing and nobody was like, there were still people doing it, but it was just
like I said, the liability issues that were going on.
Yeah, there was like all these laws, like clubs, like actual nightclubs had to have the alcohol like literally locked up. Mm-hmm. And like if you did a teen night.
Yeah, do you know what they started doing? Now that I remember, they started mixing. It was 18 to party, 21 to drink.
Yeah, they started,
and that's when it started going downhill.
Yeah, they did. That's funny because I was doing those type of parties. Because I was, that's a whole nother story. But where we went to see Angelina, that guy called me and he was like, hey, like, I know you throw parties. I'm trying to do like a college night here.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you want to promote it? I was 17. I couldn't even get in. Yeah, I would promote these parties and stuff. But yeah, that was 18 to party, 21 to drink.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of clubs closed. It was probably like insurance reasons too. And me and you, we stopped doing like our own stuff and we would like accept gigs that people would want to book us for. But it kind of like dried up. But and then we turned 18 or we were like 17, 18. And we're like, no, because now like if something happens, we can get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, like before it's cool because
we just got regular jobs done.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
And then too, like, you know, we'll still have like random shit, you know, and I'm still dragging you around the random stuff, making you do a podcast, you know. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, dude.
It was.
And I'm glad we did it. And once you know kind of like how it's done, like, again, we were super, super low level promoters.
Yeah.
Like, there's not like one event. Like, there's probably like some people that maybe remember some of the stuff we did. But like, you know, we're just here because we have a podcast and we're just fucking jerking each other off talking about what our old party days. But like super low level. Like we never did anything crazy. Like
no, we just like I said, walk around the mall, go to maybe a few local spots and drop flyers and.
But I'm even
Facebook.
But I'm saying too, like what I mean by like low level promoters is like we never like booked some like huge performer, like some big act, or through like a crazy event.
We only had the mansion. That was a decent.
Yeah, actually,
that was our one decent booking.
Yeah, there was a
dance crew.
We
booked a dance crew.
Yeah, from what was that show? America's Best Dance Crew.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Yeah, and the crew, they were from New Jersey.
4 of them, yeah.
Right, and yeah.
And they were brothers, right?
I think some.
Or
of
were
them,
they friends?
No, I think some of them were brothers. But
and we booked one of them, and all 4 of them came.
Yes, and no, you know what it was? We booked 2 of them.
Okay.
There were
they had a sleepover.
Yes, dude, that's so fucking funny. I forgot about that. So there was a dance crew, and there was a lot of them in the actual crew.
Yeah.
There's probably like 8 of them, but there were 2 main ones that were like the popular ones.
Yeah.
Like girls like loved them, and I didn't even watch that show. I didn't know that show was popular. But yes, so we booked them. The main 2. And then whoever it was, they called us and they were like, actually, like 4 of them are going to come because like 2 of them are sleeping at this one's house.
Yeah.
And can you get a limo? So we're
we got them a limo too. Yeah, they pulled up in a limo.
So we're like, we get 4 of them. Like we could put them on the flyer too. And they're like, oh yeah, they want to party. And this club we did it at had a huge stage. And what did they even do? Like, did they dance at all? Because I don't even remember that. They did like a meet and greet.
They did a meet and greet, and I don't think they danced. I think they were just on stage and
like doing what?
Just talking.
Really?
Or they just like I think we introduced them just to like the crowd, and they were just jumping on stage and partying.
I remember I was up on stage dancing before. Do you remember I was up on stage dancing?
Oh, I was in a boot. I think.
Were you?
I was on crutches.
No, not for that one. I don't think you were.
How many parties did we do there?
Oh man.
Not too many.
We promoted a lot there, but we didn't we weren't actually.
I remember I was handicapped for one of them.
Really?
Yeah, and I couldn't move around. I was just sitting in the booth. They had like a VIP table. You had to sit me there.
No, it wasn't that one because the meet and greet was upstairs. Remember?
Oh, okay.
And we were both upstairs.
It must have been a different party.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. When were you in a boot? Was it recently?
No,
because weren't you just in a boot recently?
I was. I've been in a boot 2 times in the last 3 years.
2 times in just the last 3 years?
Yeah.
So then what the hell was this one for?
I had when I got married back in December 21.
Yeah, you had a boot on then.
I had a boot on from an ice hockey incident.
That's right. Right before your wedding?
Yeah, right before my wedding.
How mad was she?
Oh, she's like, you better be able to stand during this wedding, and I had a brace on that barely fit under. Yeah, it barely fit under my my tux.
Is it funny now? Can you laugh at it now?
Oh, it's hilarious. She's not. She doesn't think it's funny still.
Can you see the brace in the pictures?
No, you can't.
Oh, okay.
I got a real thin one.
Okay. But then, wait a minute. Why? It was your knee or your ankle?
It was my knee.
So why were you in a boot?
Oh
no, you were on crutches.
I was on crutch. I don't remember what I was. No, I was in a knee high cast
Really?
because I had a minor MCL tear
Oh shit.
or something like that. It was
So did you put that back on after the wedding, or did you just rock with the brace?
no. I just rock. I didn't like wearing the boot because it was it was like an air
It's not a
cast.
boot, though.
It's an air cast, I think.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. The last thing we do on this podcast is fact check, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, dude, that's funny as hell. Because how soon before your wedding did it happen?
3 months before.
Holy shit. So
And because it took me a while.
Yeah.
I only started walking maybe a week before the wedding, and I could barely walk.
So
when I had to get down on my knee to take the what's the thing around her leg?
the girdle?
The girdle. When
what's it called? Is that what it's called? The girdle?
When I had to get the girdle off, I was in so much pain. So much pain.
Garter.
Garter.
What the fuck's a girdle? Garter tradition. Now I gotta look up what a girdle is. Oh, I think a girdle's like that shit that you wear around here that you tie. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
But I was in a lot of pain. The
What
whole
knee-
night.
What need you? Well, you had to bend
My
both.
right knee.
You hurt your right knee.
So when I was trying to figure out, like in that instance, I'm like, all right, my wife's in front of me. Which knee do I put down?
Yeah,
Because I'm thinking which way is going to be easier to get up.
Oh, that's right. Because if you get up, you're gonna have to put all the weight on one of them.
one knee. So
But if you kneel, you're gonna be kneeling on one. So which one did you do?
I sat on the right knee because I figured I could
You
use
kneeled
my
on the bad one.
I kneeled on the bad knee, even though it hurt, because I thought it would be easier to push up off my left foot.
You should
to get up.
You should have told her, like, pull it down more so I don't have to go as far. I could just grab it and get it off quick. That's funny as hell. Wow. That's right. But I'm trying to think what party you were in a boot for. See, we get off topic.
Yeah.
That's this whole podcast. Doesn't matter.
But that was funny.
That was really funny. That is really funny. I forgot it. I forgot you were in the boot right before you were playing ice hockey.
Yeah.
She didn't she wasn't like, hey, do this after.
Do what after?
Like, I'm sure she was like, not that you're like prone to getting hurt, but you did just say you were in a boot or like a cast like 3 times in the last 2 years, or
like
2
2 times. 2 times. The other one it was a year before the wedding, so maybe not the 3 years, but from 19 to 21, I was in the 2019 to 2021.
That
I was in the boot
foot,
twice,
right? Or your ankle?
One of them was my ankle, and that was from gosh, I can't remember.
Would you say you're clumsy?
No.
No? Of course you would. I'm surprised she didn't want to have you like in a bubble like for a whole year up to the wedding.
Well, yeah. Well, the ice hockey incident was also it was myself.
What do you mean? Oh,
Like I slipped. I just slipped. Like I was trying to. I just did something. I did this weird move, and there's a video of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. You know how they like athletes can't have like motorcycles because of like accidents and stuff, like it's in the contract. Like I'm surprised she didn't have you something like
She
that.
told me don't get hurt.
Really?
And what I do?
You got hurt.
I got hurt.
You didn't listen. So it wasn't even a contact. It was just you.
It was non-contact. It was just me.
What were you trying to do?
I was
just skating.
I was just skating, and I tried to like do this solo move, and
You just busted your ass.
I like lost my footing. I forgot what I did, and the way I fell, my knee
she should have, instead of you taking the garter off, she should have took your brace off. Should have switched it up. Could have had a new tradition. That would have been funny as hell. Dude, we didn't even talk about, do you remember that guy that we worked with? He had like a radio station. Remember we would go DJ on his radio station? We had to take the train to get there.
Oh, in can I say the town?
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Elizabeth. Yeah.
Dude, that's great. You know what else is funny too? That studio they used to do podcasts in, and now like we have this, which is pretty cool. Like we could have been doing a podcast all the way back then.
We should have.
We should have did a podcast.
Didn't think about it.
I don't think podcasts like weren't really popping back then. But yeah, dude, we had our sketch series too. All those videos we were making. That was even before the parties.
Yeah, we'll do a follow up.
Yeah, we could. Do
I'll come back.
All right, cool. Friend of the show, guest of the show, lot less vulgar, and I don't think you cursed once.
I tried not to.
Oh, nice.
But maybe next time I will.
It's just me. Tune in next time Scott's on. Maybe he'll say fuck or shit. Who knows? Now I feel bad because I was the only one cursing this whole episode. And also too, if you look over here, if you zoom out, you could see like who talked when. It's just me like yapping the whole time, but that's okay. How was your? How was
my
your
experience?
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. How would you rate it 1 to 10?
10.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Did you have any reason to be nervous?
I was in the beginning.
Were you good now?
I'm good now.
Okay, cool.
This was fun. I'll definitely come back.
Hell yeah, brother. We'll have you on. We'll have you on when Brady's on. Or fuck him. Who knows? Fuck you, Brady. This has been the Z-Listers podcast. If you like this, what I usually say is, if you like this, why? Why do you listen? Because we usually are talking
Yeah, leave
about
comments, right?
Yeah. Oh, I say that too, but I'm like, why do you listen to this? This podcast sucks, blah, blah, blah. But this was a good one. And we weren't talking about shitting or wiping our ass, so this was a really good one. If you like this podcast, I know why, because it was a good one. Leave nice comments for Scott. And yeah, if you want a part 2, we'll make it happen. We'll talk about more of our crazy stories. But yeah, it's been the Z-Listers podcast. Thanks for doing this, brother.
See ya.